perfect name for this show.
What? Well, I just went live. What
The
is it?
un the unnamed Fitz Mac. Oh,
Too long. What?
Unnamed conspiracy show.
oh shit! I gotta.
Redacted. Oh wait, no, we did. We tried redacted because we thought that was going to be good, but there's also the
Yeah, there's the
redacted content.
redacted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The unknown Fitz Shiv pilot.
No, this is the second episode, so it's no longer a pilot.
pilot
Second
the
pilot.
sequel.
We're not dropping frames.
So which looks. Yeah, but you're not full motion
Let's see
video.
if I can do
In
this.
the corner, you're still getting a very slow frame rate.
I don't know how to fix that.
Is that a camera? What kind of camera is
It's a
that?
Papalook camera. I have to fucking fuck with the
Because maybe it's that. That's.
settings.
All
All right, maybe I should just upgrade the Discord Nitro, and then I can
I never had
host
a
this
problem
friggin'
with
thing
it
here.
before. Let me fuck with it. This is what I hate about like starting new shows is all the fucking beta gremlins.
Yeah,
What you call them?
it's looking good on the stream for me.
But yeah, but which is scarier, the rabbit or the skull?
I just put the skull up there for like extra
Dude, I
shit.
think it works.
Yeah.
Like it plays good, especially with the rabbit right next to it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If you want to put something else up there, you can. We can.
No, it's fine.
And
Maybe
what
later.
me and
Please, man, I'm telling you.
what me and Max want to do is take like how it says tackles the Mothman. We want to do fake headlines
Change.
and and have them change because you can do that shit where like Max punches Bigfoot in the toe or some shit like that. You know, just go back.
I do
and
have a
forth.
standing off. I do have a standing offer to fight Mothman, but why does that? No, that's not what I want.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know Bigfoot was a total asshole.
Well, he's not real. I mean,
He's not.
I'm not gonna go into that.
Oh, what?
I believe in there might be things out there Bigfoot-esque, but as far as like Bigfoot, nah, I don't fucking believe in Bigfoot, man. Come on. The dude
I
even
think
went on.
there's some pretty interesting stories out there, like from the Art Bell show.
Yeah, but the guy that said it, that first discovered him even went on record and said that it was a hoax. Yeah.
That's fine, but that doesn't mean it doesn't really exist.
True.
But they aren't just.
True.
They aren't real people, real beings out there. Who knows? Maybe there's some sort of alien that's hanging out here. Who knows? Who the hell knows? Anything is possible.
So you're going with the lizard people theory. Hold on 1 second, everybody.
In the lizard people theory. Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
How's my level? Is it good? Is it okay?
I don't know. I can't hear you.
You
My
can't hear
camera's
me.
moving fine. I mean, I can hear you fine on this, but I don't know what you sound like on the stream.
Well, that's okay. If I sound good here, it's good.
And the camera, looking at it now, the camera looks fine. It picked back up.
But maybe that camera is just not a full motion video camera.
Well, I think I just gotta fuck with it, is what it is.
Yeah, maybe it's.
Yeah, maybe it's some shit. I don't fucking know.
No, Webby, you sound fine on the screen.
Oh yeah, see that's the green screen. I don't know if you can see it. That's the one of the green screens I was working on.
Oh, okay, thanks. That's very dark green. Does that work as a key?
As far as I know, it will.
Well, you haven't tried it yet?
If not, I haven't had a chance to. Like, right when I got on with y'all, when I started pinging y'all, I was running string through it. So, I have no idea. We'll find out. Like, I don't even know how to use a fucking green screen.
So,
There we go. I hate fucking with a camera. But I completely moved my room around. Like, now I have a second monitor here so I can watch chat and then and like see what's playing, what's going on, and then I mean we're running 3,300 kilobytes per second right now. We haven't dropped any frames. Hell, we're only using 10% CPU. So I don't know.
so far so good, man. Gotta
I
love the audio only.
I guess we'll just put it in the Discords. Let it ride. Everybody take a break, take a breather. What do you want to talk about first?
I'm down for the time travel. I mean, or whatever, dude. This is your show, man.
It's our show. I want everybody that comes in and joins the conversation. This is not my show. This is something like, cause understand,
No, it's your show.
without y'all, this show would not be happening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, yeah.
I would be up
But-
here rambling about fucking everything I watched on YouTube that was conspiracy theory related. Without y'all, this show would not be happening. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do it, even if we are 2 hours late. You know, fuck.
And I went to the quarters.
I mean, but I don't care about time limits and fucking schedules. I am gonna release a schedule soon because everybody's always on my nuts. This doesn't have a schedule. It just streams whenever the fuck he feels like it, and it just,
Right. Well, Curly has a schedule, but he just streams every day.
well, no, he only streams he only streams Tuesday or Monday through Thursday again now because he's got his job back. Not to dox him. That's just what he said. He said it live before, so.
Say that again. What did he say?
That he got his job back.
Oh, so he went. He went back to his old job.
Yeah, there's like I don't want to say too much, but
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm curious.
You know,
Okay.
the guy that he apparently couldn't work with anymore. I'm not gonna say what the guy did to him and who the guy was.
Well, he hasn't talked about that on the air.
Yeah, he has.
Well, then it's okay.
I guess I could. I guess it doesn't matter. The guy that is the big man's son, I guess, from what I gathered, I don't know. It could be misinformation, but from what I gathered, is the big man's son, and the big man himself, like the boss man, I guess the father, decided to bring Curly back, and it's in Curly's contract for what he said that that guy's not allowed to come near him or have contact with him. So
All right.
it is what it is. I'm gonna put it in the Discords. Fuck, I hate doing all this shit.
I didn't realize how veiny my ears were.
Oh, I should totally put this one with you with arms wide open up there. Save that for later. Because
My
it looks like
whisker-
you're trying to give us a hug.
My whiskers
Yeah.
need a
Yeah.
little haircut.
And then I have to put this in announcements because
That's H-A-R-E.
Sunbun will kill me. In
Let me see if I can.
my own Discord. He'll get on to me. I love Sunbun though.
Yeah.
That shit was funny. He come on and he was like,
There we go.
This is-
Oh, there's a
he was,
test of it
he
for
was like,
the wave file.
he was like, this is your Discord. You put that shit in announcements. And I was like, yes, sir. I'm sorry. Because I ain't used to that shit, man. Whatever. Maybe we can get some.
I threw in a wave file in there
Where'd
No.
you put it?
And what in my Discord or
No. Apparently, I put it in chat room. Delete.
You could put it in this chat
Uh,
if you don't want to distribute it. If you do, you can put it anywhere.
what I have like for my chat like
It's just a sample of it.
if you want to
Just
do
pin here under my bunny.
you can do it in Fitz's Weed Coke room or the BS room or in this.
I was just gonna put it in general.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. It
It don't
should
matter.
show up.
I don't look. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not gonna be like fucking.
This is weed room.
Don't put anything out in anything that I don't give a fuck.
Wait, did you say something about a Nazi?
It's a lie. I am not a Nazi.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
only on Tuesday.
You know, why don't you like the soundboard?
Me?
Who, me?
You.
Look, I don't. You got it misconfused. I don't dislike the soundboard. I dislike 5 fucking soundboards at the same fucking time.
Well, you have to know how to use them, and I'm learning. You know, I'm trying to
It's not you, okay? And B Covert.
It's all of us together.
B Covert, if you're
Well,
listening, I'm throwing
it's-
shots. It's because
Yeah, that's
like
okay.
you hit it.
He knows he's one of them.
Renegoo's
but the
got
thing is,
better. Renegoo's got
Willie
better
Be-
at it. Renegoo knows
It's-
when to back off, like when he's
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
it too much.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do.
That's the board.
Like,
But some people really don't like it at all.
well, it's not.
Everybody
it's
can do
not
it
that-
with Nope. Renegade does. It'd be all good.
Yeah, and it's not that your like soundboard
He's
sucks or anything, or I hate your soundboard. I hate that you decide to play a soundboard, then Will goes ba 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 ba, and then fucking B Cover goes what's wrong with
I
your
was back to a
face?
thousand joke.
No,
I
no,
want that one.
yes,
I don't
yes,
have it.
yes, no, 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 no,
Well-
no, yes, yes, yes. And then, like,
Nine,
at that
nine.
point, I'm like, oh, hi, oh, hi, fucking.
9. 9. 9.
I mean, exactly. Like, I don't have a. I really don't. I don't want y'all to think like I have a. I really don't. It's just when everybody's hitting them bitches
Oh,
at
I
the
just wanna
same
cover you
time.
No, I understand. I get it.
My-
But it's the same thing with trying to get a word in edgewise on game night because
Well, but see,
everybody's talking at the same time and everyone's trying to get a few seconds in, you know?
well, you see how I just shut up when you started talking? That's how it needs to be, like, and that's what I was
Yeah,
trying
but
to.
the-
I was trying to get across the other night. But see, what it is okay. Is everybody wants their time to shine. Like I pick my spots when I'm gonna jump in, when I'm gonna say something, when I'm not. All right, like, instead of making the quip, Wabbit, say something. And because once you have the floor, we're not gonna take it away from you. I'm not, at least. Be fucking somebody that gets drunk and might have a topic on your topic, Mike. But you know, that was my whole point. I'm more worried about creators like Penny. She's a new creator. I don't want her to be scared away
Oh, yeah. No, I get you.
because she can't get a word in edgewise. That's why if I hear you talking, I go, "What were you saying, Wabbit?" I bring you into it. If I hear her talking, I bring you into it. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to think there's gonna be a point where I'm not always around for game night.
But I mean, me, I get to a lesser extent me. We know how to control a conversation. It doesn't matter how many screaming. You know, you can manage that. Will's actually, honestly, both way better at it than he gives himself credit for.
Will's gotten really good, and there's a couple moments I've been really proud of Will.
I'm telling you, that kid would make the best 911 dispatcher. I'm telling
Yeah, I think
Really?
you, the stream, yeah.
with his
Just from being able to listen to all that conflicting, chaotic noise and make
Yeah.
sense out of it.
yeah,
He would be good.
I could do that sometimes. Sometimes I can't. It just depends on how many soundboards are going on. But like with Will, I'm really proud of Will. There's even jokes he's made lately that I was like, that's my joke. Not that it's my joke, but like that's some shit
He's
I would.
learning.
That's some shit
Yeah.
I would have said, and you said it before I could. I'm proud of that. There's some other,
Yeah.
there's some
He's
other
getting there.
issues, but that's neither here nor there, and I'm not part of that. We're supposed to be doing a show. I don't even think we have anybody here. What is it? Fucking
Conspiracy theories. Game night conspiracy. Conspiracy night. Oh, we should call it conspiracy night.
we should call it conspiracy night. Do you think Night Attack will get mad?
I don't
They
think.
have weird things. We could call it Weird Night.
I don't know. I can keep giving them money, and I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem.
Nah, man. What we talked about, you need to give that money to that person that needs it right now until they get taken care of.
Well, yeah. That's why all my Patreons are on hold right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's done.
And don't ever think like I'm fucked up right now, but don't ever think like I don't give a fuck about your money, bruh.
I know. I just feel like I ought to explain to people because it can be construed one way.
Look, I keep telling my wife. I'm not gonna say about what, but she's like, because we just been broke lately, and and she was like, I really gotta get Max. I really gotta do it. She started crying. She's like,
don't worry about that.
I know, but she's just like that. She's like, I promised him he's gonna be so upset. And I'm sitting here like, I just talked to Max.
No,
he doesn't.
Man,
he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
That's on the internet, but I ain't an asshole in real life.
Well, if anything, I've proven that when I say I'll pay it back, I'll pay it back.
You get it. You get it. I ain't worried, man.
Yeah.
I ain't worried. I told you I don't. Never mind. It's
yeah. But either way, still like, let's do a show. I don't even know if we have anybody here, but I gotta hit record on this shit though. That was just a little pre-show shit. I gotta get bumpers and fucking shit.
That's why I put that little sample in the Discord, and I'll get a better quality of the audio. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
No, I mean, that's fine. Like, I'm happy with everything that you give me. What were you saying,
Max, sorry. Max isn't even in the chat room, but there is, Mech is in there, and Lozinger.
What up, Mac?
This could be from before. I don't know.
How am I not in the chat room?
You're not in the chat, Max.
Oh, you know what? I'm not logged in. That's why.
I'm finna beat it myself to see the. Like.
I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm just not logged in. That's all. No, I'm logged in. I should be logged in.
Well, the chat. The viewer list is notoriously unreliable. So, I was reading about how it worked. It's like.
Oh well, hell, we got 5 years. I don't know why they're here.
Yeah, but
we ain't done shit. We just pretended to talk.
Yeah, it's the same people I said, but that doesn't mean it's reliable. Oh, here it says 2.
My shit says 5, but on the computer for some reason I can never see who's here. Really.
This is a cheer for B. Coford.
Thanks, B. Coford. I haven't gotten it on.
Now it says 5.
Did it come up on the screen? Did it
alert?
Well, now it says 3.
Oh, I see it. B. Coford 1. Yeah. I don't have it on the thing though. Okay, well, I guess we don't have bumpers and shit.
Working on that.
We're gonna get all. This is all pilot shit. We discussed what we're gonna talk about the next 3 weeks. We should go ahead and break that down. Is there anything you wanted to discuss, Wabbit?
No, not other than what we talked about.
Well, you're more than welcome to be a part of the show anytime. Next week we're gonna do psychopaths and sociopaths. And
An antisocial personality disorder.
exactly, yeah, I forgot about that one too. I always forget about that shit.
Well, I mean, it's just reclassifications on top of reclassifications.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, no, you're right. And then after that, we're doing the Mothman prophecy. No, or do you think we should wait? How long do
I'm
you?
fine with it.
Well, how long do you think it'll
Bring it
take
on,
you to?
Mothman. I will fight you.
Well, okay, yeah, we'll do Mothman prophecies. How long do you think it'll take you to get ready for Cicada 3301? I think that should be like.
A week.
We'll still
A
do
week.
that.
I found an end around on a lot of my research. We can shortcut a lot of it because it turns out if you and this will be an interesting one for people. If you Google cryptography and Carrollton, Texas, in the same Google search, it starts pointing you in a very interesting direction. So that will be the shortcut around some of my research without having to divulge how I got it or where it came from.
Your research is convoluted. I will give you that. Like going through
It is.
it is
Well,
very convoluted.
let's face it, I used a database I wasn't supposed to have access
I
to.
I figured as
So
much.
I'm just going to let that part of it go.
Yeah.
But there is an end around that gets you to where I came to in the end of the research. And it's all verifiable. It's all searchable. Publicly available information.
We'll save
Especially
it.
if you really go through the Cicada Wiki.
We'll save it for that show. But I never would have thought to conquer it that way that you did. Thank you for the bits, Wabbit.
Thanks, Wabbit.
I never would have thought to conquer
It's
it the
only
way
2
you did.
bits.
Hey man, it's 2 bits. Like I only need fucking 9.
If you see a penny on the ground, do you pick it up?
I only need 9.97 to make my first $100 check from Twitch now. So 2 bits counts. Yeah, if I saw a penny, if it was heads up, if it's tails, I'm not fucking with it. It's just what it is. Actually,
Is that? I never heard that one.
well, it's some shit my grandma had. Good luck, bad luck. Like if we're walking and you split a pole, like we come between a pole, I will stop dead center and walk around that pole to the side you walked on. I will not split a pole. I don't know what it is. And I think I've done it so much in my entire life that like splitting a pole would be like the death of me. So fucking, because I've done it my entire life. I never believed in that step on a crack, break your mother's back shit. My mom does.
Yeah,
It's interesting though. Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Wabbit.
No, you go.
No, you go, Wabbit.
Yeah, you go.
Fucking, we're bullying you. What were you saying?
No, I just said I was going to say the same thing about do you step on a crack or not on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I used to, actually, I have this OCD about, like, counting the steps it takes between each square of the sidewalk. I don't know why, and if it's not going to end in an even number, I have to make it end in an even number. I don't know fucking why. I don't walk anywhere anymore.
Oh, that's obsessive compulsive.
Yeah.
Because that's the way the brain orders things, man. It does what it wants with the information it's presented.
Yeah, but I'm
like
that too. Very, very applicable to what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Well, see, but I'm not OCD. Like.
No, but everybody finds patterns in the real world that may or may not be there.
We have aspects of
Our
it.
brain.
It's not, it's just, it doesn't take over your life. It's just part of it.
Yeah, you don't have to be OCD. It's just out. All right, like you ever been sitting at a stoplight with your foot on the brake, and the guy next to you starts going, and you literally feel like you're rolling backwards?
Oh,
yeah. You're really not. Yeah, you're really not. But your brain is putting a pattern to things that isn't exactly there based on the information it's given.
Right.
It's just
That's a good point. I mean, that brings me to a whole nother theory we'll talk about later on another
We've got
show.
to have we've got to have some theme music or something to introduce the
Well, we
show.
do have to have theme music. I don't have anything. What do you want me to play? Somehow.
I put a sample in the general.
Discord.
Yeah.
And Fitz's Discord.
If it's discreet.
All right.
Thank you for everybody listening and putting up with this. This is
Do
production.
you hear
meeting.
that? Do you hear that when I play it? Oh, you don't hear that, do you?
Some reason I'm not hearing the thing you put in there.
I could play it through here.
Yeah. Well, if you can play it through Discord, do it. Maybe I got it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
Are you playing it, Wabbit?
Yeah.
Because my shit's not playing it. Because my shit's not playing
I don't know. To me, it sounds good, but it's a little too slow for me.
Oh, it was just a thing I had. That's all.
it. I got
What's
one.
that?
Hold on. I got one. Hold on. It's a good thing I have two screens
Since
now.
I made it, I know it doesn't violate any DMCA.
Oh, you created that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually pretty good. It's
Oh,
just a
now that
slow
you
thing.
created it, it's good.
Yeah.
No, I said it was good before.
Now it's good.
Yeah, now it's
Pretty
good.
good. No, it was a piece of
Oh,
shit.
now that you
slow.
created it, it's good.
Yeah, it was a thing I used for a backing track years ago on the song I wrote.
Oh, you wrote a song.
I've written a lot of songs.
Oh,
I'm not very good.
No, fuck that, man. You can't say shit like that. I'm a terrible fucking rapper. But I still do it.
I was in a lot of bands over the years, and right now I can't play like I used to, obviously, because my freaking stupid arm. But
yeah, but you're gonna get to a point where you can do all that shit again. I mean, it's been what, 9-12 months now?
No, it was October, so it's been it's been 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, come on, some shit like that takes some people fucking years to recuperate. It'll be where you're at right now doing it. Come on, man.
I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. But that was just one I thought, if you guys liked it, we could float it. That's all.
I could put lyrics to it.
Dude, the whole thing goes 7 minutes, and it's basically a loop. So, we could always sample it.
Well, we only need like 2 minutes. Like, we could do like a Tales to the Crypt thing.
Yeah, it was just a thought. If nobody likes it, that's fine. If people like it, that's fine too.
If they don't like it, fuck them.
Well, I'm not worried about it. I ain't worried about it. It was just something I thought, I'd float.
How I feel about it, fuck them. Peasants should know their place.
Okay, let's get back to topic.
Okay, alright, I played this shit. That was my own song. It has nothing to do with conspiracy theories unless you talk about dream theory, which I just fucking was talking about in a song. Okay, well, I'll start it off with time travel. We can always start with the Man from Torrid. That's one of the most commonly known time traveler stories, even though, no offense, Wabbit, I know you didn't know about it.
No, I don't know anything about it, but enlighten me.
It's a very interesting. I wouldn't call it a creepypasta, but it's close.
Yeah, well, you know what? It reminds me of what was that movie with Tom Hanks where his country was disbanded and he had to live in the airport?
Oh yeah, the terminal.
Yeah, the terminal. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
but
That was a strange movie.
it was cool. I didn't get to finish it. But I like. I'm not gonna ruin it for people, but well, I could. It's been out for fucking years, but okay, the man from Torrid. There was a traveler that went through customs, and they flagged
So the
him.
story goes that originated on, I believe it was Reddit.
What? Yeah,
Sources matter here.
I think he was trying to leave Japan though. Or he was either trying to leave Japan.
This is a long
Yes.
time ago.
Yeah, he's either trying to leave Japan or enter
In
Japan.
1954. He
Yeah.
was leaving Japan in
He's
1954.
leaving Japan.
Well,
Well, as the story goes, he was stopped by customs, and he claimed that he was from Torrid, uh, a, a city that had been around for, or a country that had been around for 1,000 years. He showed them his passport that was marked from Torrid, and he
How
had
do you spell that?
Taured. Torrid.
Okay.
Or some people spell it Taurid, but it's.
So he was supposedly from our
He used the
future.
appropriate spelling.
So that's like a new city that became big in the future.
No, I don't. We don't know. It's only
It's just a
speculation.
country.
It's only speculation
Well, according to him.
because it could be time travel. It could be loopholes. It could be anything. To my understanding, they took his passport because it showed that he had been to Japan because he said he went to Japan for business trip. He pointed at. I'd have to do more research. I'd have to Google it real quick. Where he pointed at on the map where it was. I think it was like Lebanon or something like that. Where Torrid was. I could be wrong. That could be misinformation. Don't quote me on it. But he later was put in a hotel room for further investigation. Vanished. So that's the story of the man from Torrid. Any time travel stories you want to tell, Max? Or what are your thoughts on it as somebody that doesn't know anything about it? What do you think?
I'm just wondering. He just disappeared from the room, and
Yeah.
no one saw him.
No one saw him leave. And he was on like, and see this is where it blurs for me is that it's a Reddit story. And
I mean, have you ever seen this story somewhere else?
it's on,
Well, it's repeated numerous times since then.
yeah, it's on every conspiracy theory channel. It's on everything about time travel.
Mysterious Universe has done
it's fed
an
upon
interesting
itself.
podcast on it.
Well, what's the origin of the story? I mean, has it?
Well,
That's the thing. It
well,
could have been
like-
created right at that point. You don't know.
It was.
Well, like Max just said, it was on Reddit. I didn't even know it was a Reddit story.
I believe that's the first iteration of it is Reddit. A lot. You'd be surprised how much stuff, between Slender Man and a lot of other things, Black Eyed Kids, that came out of Reddit and Something Awful forums back in the day.
Like, see, I don't even know if I would want to touch a Slender Man story.
Find themselves again, Dumbo's
Unless
there for
we
the
were
fight.
doing
It's just not good for both.
the murderers, the two girls that tried to murder that girl in the woods, or did murder that girl in the woods. I'm not sure if they did.
No, the girl lived. She's
Okay, yeah, I thought she lived, but I wasn't sure.
It was attempted murdering. That doesn't make it any less terrible.
Yeah, no, it's still the same. It's actually first degree, isn't it? Still,
As far as I know.
yeah.
That's Florida law, I believe.
Yeah. Well, actually, I know not that I'm from Georgia, but I know in the state of Georgia, because a friend of mine, this is off topic. My brother
Look,
got married.
why don't we just call the show off topic?
We should call the show off topic. We really should. Or we should just
I
do
like-
another show and be off topic. Like about everything.
Okay.
But no, what I was gonna say, in Georgia, this girl that was married to my brother ended up she accidentally killed this dude when she was drunk. Georgia will not allow you to have any felony probations and move here. You can So they had to move to Florida because Florida was the only place that allowed it. It was weird.
Wow, that's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know they did shit like that. But back to topic. Back to the topic.
Wow. But yeah, anyway, what I was saying is like with the Man from Torrid, the Black Eyed Kids, Slenderman, like so many of these things came out of like the early 2000, 2002 to through 2006 internet.
Well,
Some awful forums and Reddit and 4chan to a lesser extent.
Well, see, that's I don't go on Reddit. I don't go on 4chan for the main reason that's where the dangerous trolls are. I'm dead serious. Like I could own a troll here, but in Reddit or 4chan, they could decide to fuck with my life. And hypothetically speaking, I would kill somebody. Hypothetically. Yeah.
Well, let's not poke the bear.
I spoke in hypothetics, so I can't.
Yes, obviously.
No,
That was all I was saying. Is there's a lot of internet folklore associated with this story.
For a long time, Art Bell listener, way back when he was in his heyday in the late 90s, he'd have people on who said they were time travelers. But, how do you don't, it's a story. You don't know if they're really, I mean, if they were real, it would give you some proof. So, I don't know.
See, I'm stuck in this. Okay, let me also, maybe we need a disclaimer. I don't believe in any of this shit. Okay? But if I could believe in anything, I would believe in time travel before I would believe in anything else. Through the theory of relativity, through chaos theory, I would believe in time travel.
Well, Fitz, if there were aliens visiting us or whatever, you'd have to have some way of travel to get here, and there's obviously technology that we don't know about yet, if this is the case. And you would have to be traveling through time in order to get anywhere in the universe or galaxy or whatever you travel on.
Thanks for bringing up my hypothesis. That's
a fantastic point, actually. Both of you discuss.
Yeah, well, my hypothesis is because I can't place it. I can't.
Hold on.
Place it on a theory.
I'll be right back.
Well, fuck! I'm trying to argue with you.
Okay.
Now,
time travel. Don't mind him.
Well, I'll come back to that because I want to
We'll
talk.
go back to the beginning of the show and clean up all that bumper stuff we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying just getting on here, bullshitting with you and Wabbit, man. That's what this is about. And we talk about just shit, man.
My roommate just gave me a couple of ribs that he made.
So ribs were more important. I see.
Well, he knocked on my door. What am I supposed to do?
Were they ribbed in the future?
No, from the present, actually.
Oh, excellent. Even better.
You don't know that. They could be from the future. He could have known that you would be hungry at this certain time. You never know.
It's pretty good.
We to believe that you time traveled and then came back with ribs. You also cleaned up our pre-show.
Oh, yeah. But my theory on, it's not a theory because you have to have I have some fact I could base on a theory, but my hypothesis is the same shit you're talking about. What if, and this is sacrilegious of me to say as a Christian, What if God and the devil or whatever, what if they were these all natural beings that were fucking, let's bite into fucking Von Daniken's fucking Ancient Aliens and Jim Mars' Ancient Aliens Sumerian text dick for a second. Let's just bite into that. Alright. Well,
Okay.
what if they left this shit here? The Bible, what's it called, Max? The Hebrewic what?
The Talmud.
Yeah. And the,
I mean, I learned that in Hebrew school growing up. The Talmud was writings that the really smart rabbis and stuff put together a commentary on the Bible, and that was part of it.
The Hebrew Bible.
Yes, the Old Testament.
yeah, okay, but
It's-
then as a Christian, as a Catholic, we went and turned that into King James Version, and it says nothing that yours says. So,
Oh, there's a lot of lost in translation thing. Like,
but
you want to talk about a good
Right,
so we can do changes in the in
Bible.
scripture.
well, I
Yeah,
wanna-
because a lot of things got lost in translation when they translated it so many times to different
Well, and
languages.
the Council of Laodicea, Council of Nicaea, I believe 700 and 1300 AD, somewhere in there, where they
Right.
decided what books were going to be allowed as canon,
yeah,
and then what books were not.
So
I
what
mean,
books were not?
like
yeah.
the Book of Enoch.
Like what?
Enoch it was
Yeah.
removed. There's like in the Catholic Bible, there's like three books removed. One of them's like Paul's, Book of Paul's removed. And all that shit. Because
Interesting.
I have the Catholic Bible, which has an extra 12 books on top of King James. So, but I mean, I'm interested in all religion. I don't really know much about Judaism, except for that you don't acknowledge Jesus Christ as your Savior, and you think of a now.
Well, we existed before him.
Exactly.
Also-
You believe your Messiah's coming. Somebody did something because I just saw
And
that.
also, according to Hebrew faith, they don't have a hell. That's also kind of nice.
Yeah,
I like.
the no hell. That is nice.
That's sort of true. I went to a religious elementary school. I mean, it was built around the turn of the century, around 1900. And it was sort of orthodox. And so I went through Hebrew studies and English studies. And so it's a matter of it's an ancient culture. So,
Wow.
well, I don't know. What else can I say about it?
I was taught two things in life: never trust a gypsy or a Jew. No, just playing. But no, I really don't know much. But when I was a child, my dad's Catholic and my mother's Holiness. They do not get along at all, and so they let me decide what religion I wanted to be. There wasn't many Jewish people. I don't even know if we have I'm pretty sure we have a temple here, a synagogue. But I don't know where it would be at in Warner Robins.
Well, how far is Warner Robins from Atlanta?
It depends on how I drive. It could be an hour and a half to hour 45 to 2 hours and 15 minutes. It just depends on how traffic is and how I drive. Which I usually
Okay.
drive
I
80
kept,
going.
okay.
So I try not to speed.
I don't know. I kept thinking you were in Atlanta, but you weren't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not far. Like, it's a hop, skip, and a jump. It's fucking $15
Yeah,
worth of gas.
at Dragon Con time.
Yeah, I'll be at Dragon Con for sure. Bumming off everybody else because I don't have any money.
Right.
No, I'm just talking shit. But I don't know. See, that's my hypothesis. What if all this shit was left here by a time traveler? Because we also have instances of people being found wearing clothes that aren't dated for that time period. Like there's a no, I don't know. I don't know. But there was a lady that was unearthed in Egypt wearing I think Nikes. Or maybe that's to
Oh,
maybe that's in
there's
Tibet and there's
numerous
somebody else.
pictures on the internet of supposedly modern people in ancient times and things like that. Things that should not have existed. Does it? What's that? Abraham Lincoln or at Gettysburg? There was a. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I don't know, but I need to
Supposedly a picture of someone who from our time.
Are you talking about the Indian holding the like supposed iPhone? Or is that something
Maybe.
else?
I'm not sure.
Could be something else. It could be something else. But no, the thing that baffles me is, and I don't know what church it is, and I don't know where it's at. It's just on one of the top 10 videos. There's a church, and it's Gothic, and I think what was the period after Gothic? Architecture. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
I'm not.
within the Gothic architecture is a spaceman on the mount. It's a legit, like, it looks like an astronaut. It legit looks like an astronaut. And Von Daniken is a touchy subject for me because when you listen to him talk, he's the one person I've heard talk conspiracy theories that I didn't instantly go, this fucker's crazy. You know? Because there's a point where they all, like, make assumptions and don't have fact. And when I was listening to Von Daniken talk, he had, like, facts and shit that he could point to and give a general theory. But
Yeah, but those are largely cherry picked.
yeah,
Is my conjecture.
go ahead and I'll finish.
Oh no, it's my conjecture there. He largely cherry picks the facts that he wants to use and ignores the ones that don't fit what he's trying to promote.
I'll give you that too. And then there's also the fact that he's been fucking got caught in fraudulent charges for embezzlement to fund his archaeological digs. He did jail time for something else and shit like that. Like, I know I've done some fucked up shit, but I've only been in jail for 15 fucking days. You know what I'm saying? On some violation of probation shit. Like, take that and judge me for what you will, but it's not like I'm telling you that there's aliens and then I have a fucking background of lying to people and creating
About aliens for money.
yeah. Well, and a lot of his theories were disproved.
I would say so, yes.
But I do, when it comes to him, there's one Aboriginal tribe, and I don't know the name of them, but every year they get together and dance around this straw. This man in straw like suit that looks like an alien, and their story is, or not an alien, like a spaceman. Their story is that he had a gun and he shot down a tree, so they knew they couldn't attack him, so they didn't attack him. And then the next day he partied with them and walked with them and danced with them, and the next day he knew their language. And the thing about all these like ancient civilization alien things is like they all build a school, they all teach education and how to give knowledge and shit. So apparently that's what he did there too. And to this day they still celebrate that. What up, Jackie Hearn? Thank you for the bits.
Woo, Turkey.
You feel free to jump
Hey,
in if you want to
Jackie.
talk conspiracy theories. We just bullshitting.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's pretty much what we're doing.
I mean, but I listened to the last show.
I
It was
love
a
it.
good show.
But yeah, I never put a whole buttload of faith in the whole Von Däniken thing, or
Yeah,
the other one, Chariots of the God. Who did Chariots of the Gods?
Von
Eric
Daniken.
Von Däniken.
Von
Did
Daniken.
Chariots of the Gods? All right, it was Morning of the Magicians was the other one. It's like
Oh.
literally the same book by the French guy. Let me Google it.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name. Starts with an L.
Morning of the Magicians. Yeah. Huh?
I don't know.
Two French names that I'm not going to try to pronounce correctly.
Well, my theory on time travel is, I have this hypothesis. Okay, what if we could convert? And I don't know if I told y'all this. I think I told my wife, and it sounds fucking crazy. And she even looked at me like, my husband has finally lost his mind. Okay. Yeah, have you ever seen the movie Frequency?
Yes.
Yeah, the
With Dennis Quaid?
yeah, Dennis
Right,
Quaid and
right.
the guy who played Jesus.
Oh,
guy played
was that the
Jesus?
guy that played
Oh, I don't know.
Jesus? Really?
Wasn't it Jim Caviezel?
Oh,
Jim
Caviezel. Right,
Yeah, I
right.
didn't know that was him. Huh.
Yeah.
Then they made a TV show out of it that
Well,
lasted one season.
yeah.
Really? They
I
made
stopped watching after a few episodes. Yeah.
I saw they made a TV
I remember
show.
that being a good movie.
It was
The
a
movie
good
was better than the TV show.
The movie was good. Okay, but
Yeah, I remember it being a good movie. But
It was about
go on.
ham radio.
Yes. Anyway.
yeah.
all
Well,
right.
see, that's my theory. Okay, or that's my hypothesis. Okay, because I can't
What is?
make it into a theory. Because I had this hypothesis when I was young. Like, what if, okay, you're playing the Xbox, and which is a wireless controller, and what if that Xbox got struck with lightning, and then you got shocked through the Xbox? That would be converting electricity into a radio wave. Tesla, I need to do more research on AC currents. Because Tesla says he saw time in past, present, and future. And what if we could convert light? Because even with Robert Mullet's new, which I'll look up that and bring it up, but Robert Mullet's new theory on bending light to create a portal for time travel. He wants to do it for selfish reasons, to go back and see his dad once. And to me, like, that just fucks everything. Like, no matter how much, like, I would love to go back and save my daughter or finish high school or whatever, it would fuck everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the butterfly effect in chaos theory. But what if we could convert a radio wave or even a Wi-Fi signal into light or whatever? Because, like, right now we're streaming. Okay, this is my hypothesis. Right now we're streaming. So we know right now at
We
10:34.
do, like fiber optics, don't we? Aren't we doing this right now?
What?
Converting things into a light signal?
Yes and no. I think.
I don't want to
Well,
go on your
well,
part.
I think.
but
Yes, you're right. But what I'm saying is, I think it would take a. Okay, do you know about string theory?
A little.
I have read on it, and I love Michio Kaku, and he's a fantastic educator and a
He is.
very entertaining person.
He
I'm not really certain I get what he's saying, though.
he actually believes that time travel is inevitable. That it will happen one day. Shikaku does.
Okay.
String theory is highly impossible. It's not impossible, but it's highly
It's
unlikely.
impossible to prove right
Yeah.
now, given our
Well-
current technology,
well,
as far as I know.
Actually, we can prove the strings in time, in like space. But for string theory to work, we would have to find two identical strings, one that is our world and the other one that is our world. And through that, we could travel through and around like a wavelength, like a radio wavelength, and make it back before we even left. So, like that being said, like when you take string theory, theory of relativity, all that shit, like the movie Frequency, I think about like, okay, if we knew that, like right now it's 10:36 p.m. Eastern, we knew I was gonna be streaming, we knew you were gonna be streaming, we knew whatever. If we could match the signal with some kind of sub particle explosion, some kind of thing that causes us to warp to this time frame by picking up this signal. That's just a hypothesis, you know. I have a whole different theory on time, but you know, what do you
Seems like there's
guys?
a lot of work that needs to go into that.
It is. It
Just-
is. This is recent. This is brand new. Like I just thought of this yesterday. So, and like I said, my wife looked at me like I was crazy. So,
Whatever.
I mean, I don't know. I do believe that one day we will reach time travel. I don't believe in all these like
What do you ever
wabbit.
see the thing that Stephen Hawking had? He had his party for time travelers a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
No one showed up. It was kind of the whole thing was obviously like a large joke, but
Yeah, but Stephen Hawking is one of the foremost like fucking people to talk about quantum theory and string theory.
And he's
you
dead.
know, he's
I mean, he talked about everything though.
far more intelligent than I am.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too.
And no time travelers showed up to his party.
But see, like people think to be a scientist you have to be great at math and all that shit. Like Isaac Newton, all that shit. It was what science is taking general fucking observations in the world around you and making assumptions and and making hypotheses of what goes on in the world around you could make other shit happen. Like we don't know all this
Exactly.
shit. You know what these scientists are saying are true. You know, because they can't fucking actually prove it. They can prove some of it. They can't prove all of it.
Well, the idea, I mean, the central idea behind the scientific theory is that it's replicable.
Yeah.
Is that somebody who has, let's say me or you, we can't replicate a quantum physics experiment, but other people with similar knowledge to the person that published the theory can. You know.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I could do a dark matter experiment, but that's about it.
And then when
What are you
we get
talking
down to
about?
quantum theory, everything gets wiggy, man. The whole world stops making sense.
Yeah, I
Fitz,
mean,
what experiment could you do with dark matter right now?
oh, dark matter. You have to know where, because dark matter.
I know what.
Dark matter's coming in from all angles, depending on where where the stars are. What you do is you dig a hole. Yeah, yeah. I watched the scientists talk about it.
I'm listening to this. Go on.
What you do is you dig a hole, and within that hole you put a PVC pipe, and inside the PVC pipe you put, I can't think of what it. I think it's an ion battery and something else. And if there's a particle there, then you've proven dark matter, and that's a dark matter particle. Because dark matter travels through the world. It goes through us, through the floor, through the core of the world, if you believe in a core of the world, and then on the out and goes through it and goes back in the outer space. Now, that experiment is how they actually proved dark matter was real. And
I'm gonna look up this one.
look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Look it up.
Keep going.
Well,
I'm
like
interested.
with dark matter interests me because, and I can't think of the scientist's name. I have to go back and look at it. He has a whole theory on chaos theory. When you put a light on a pendulum, but you also put a fulcrum on that pendulum, when you spin it, it causes it to spin, and it causes it to make the shape of a world. This is chaos, and to be into like so many things have to happen, and all that shit for I guess a perfect world to happen. I don't fucking know, you know. So, but and that is chaos theory. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and that we are chaos ourselves. You know, fucking, which is true. We, uh,
Well,
uh, but um,
I'm still trying to figure out how the PVC piping and the battery.
it might not be
I
a
have no
battery.
idea.
It's something that they put in there, and you can capture a dark matter particle. Look up physics girl dark matter. Uh,
Physics sounds nice.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she's really cool. She not to give her a shout out. I don't really know her. Well, I guess I will give her a shout out, but I mean I like her content. She's been out for a while. And they touch all types of subjects like polarization, volcano, tectonic plates. As much as I like conspiracy theories and mentalism and psychology and trying to mind fuck a serial killer, and I'm generally interested in science too. So
I'm a huge fan of science. And if anybody wants to play around with the Wikipedias for chaos theory, my favorite subset of chaos theory is well documented and known. It's called the jerk theory. Or, I'm sorry, jerk systems. Jerk systems, jerk physics, whatever you want to call it. It does exist.
Yeah, it does
It's a relative branch of mathematics.
What does it mean?
JYP. I just had to say that. Go ahead. Tell him.
Yeah, I'm not even entirely certain what it means. I just know that it exists. I know that one of the properties is they call them jerk circuits, and they exhibit chaotic behavior.
Yeah.
Which is basically it's a non-Euclidean system where things are kind of stochastic, if you want to get into the terminology of it all. It's where shit happens.
Well, statistics is when you can predict. It's a trending thing, right? Where you can predict something based on trends.
Yeah, exactly. You can predict it based on trends that don't necessarily work all the time. It's the decoherence in those systems.
Well, like trends is like gambling with the lottery. You never know what's gonna fucking take off, you know?
Right, yeah. It's the decoherence in the systems between the trends and what bucks the trends.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what the mathematics is on the outliers, as far as I know.
Let me ask you about the question. Do you think that, and I'll even apply this to aliens, do you think that there are time travelers and or aliens in this world right now as we are here?
I don't think so. I would like aliens. There may be aliens. I don't know. I don't think they're probing hillbillies, but there may be aliens. Like they could exist.
Probing
I don't
hillbillies.
think interacting with us.
Well, I'll be honest. I do believe that there are a various number of races here watching us.
You racist.
Racist?
I'm just
So
playing.
seriously, I
Wouldn't they
do,
be a
but
species?
No,
I
that's
can't.
cool. No,
I
that,
can't prove
dude,
it.
let it go on. I want to hear this. This is cool.
No, I'm just saying, wouldn't they be a species though? Go ahead, Wabbit. I'm just saying.
Wouldn't I'm not going to go into it, but I
Yeah,
just
why not?
believe it.
No,
So
I
there.
wasn't really
I
calling
mean,
you
I
racist.
don't. I'll bring it up at the right time.
What are you talking
Well,
about? Like
how-
the reptilians, the greys, the.
I don't know. Supposedly there are a number of different races here, but they don't. People bring up the argument, say, why don't they rent land on the White House lawn? Why would they? Why would they want to? They don't have to deal with
Well,
all the bullshit.
what do you think about the?
I'll give you that.
What was it? Was it Lyndon B. Johnson? No, it wasn't Lyndon B. Johnson. It was
Yeah, maybe what?
Dwight Eisenhower meeting.
Well,
them
he
and
said he
signing
was
a
talking
treaty.
about the beware of the military-industrial complex.
Yeah. And that's being aware of Whitey. Let's say.
Yeah, it's just the power there. There's enormous. So
Yeah.
the CIA was created in the late 40s, early 50s. So
Well, yeah, that was the OSS or whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't think that the government would have to hide aliens from people. It's like, okay, aliens, that's great.
So you don't
Like,
buy
if
into
you woke
that?
up tomorrow and there was newspaper, everything was blowing up. It's like, hey, aliens are real. How's that going to change your day-to-day life? You're like, yeah, well, I still got to get up and go to work. Like, great, aliens are here. That's fun.
But would we
And
have to
you
go
can
to
move
work?
on.
You would. You're.
What are you? Was everybody going to stop going to work because aliens showed
I
up?
mean, I guess I would too, because I'd have to write a fucking blog. Does this mean that aliens will now become part of Twitch and become like superstars of Twitch? I guess I would have to write a blog, but fucking no, but you don't think about the religious freaks that are like, oh my god, this means God isn't real. Oh my god,
No, because you know what I think about especially about the religious freaks, and I'm going to probably steal this straight from Brushwood, is that discovery where you decide that, oh my God, I am a Christian, a Buddhist, or whatever, and I believe all of this. This is a revelation to me. With the Baptists or any major religion where people get saved and they welcome this giant, omnipotent, supernatural being into their life. You think they ain't got room for aliens? They still go to work every day. I mean, it's
I agree, but
supposed to be like a life-changing revelation. Giving yourself over to this omnipotent God being. Those people still go to work and they still do everything they're supposed to do. We all still get along in a regular day-to-day shit.
I don't know. Maybe with Kushner bringing peace to the Middle East, maybe
No.
I wouldn't work. I'm just talking shit. Don't take me any of my political views seriously. I don't have any political views.
You can take my political views seriously. Donald Trump is a gigantic piece of crap, and I hate him.
You know
Only
what?
at me. At me. Don't add anybody else. At me. At Age of Trollbot.
I talked shit about. I was talking shit about Hillary and Trump and lost like 100 followers.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Hillary either.
I mean, I don't really
I
care.
not like.
It's done with now. Like fucking.
but you would definitely have been a better president than Trump.
Oh yeah, at this point.
Really? Would she have? Would she have though?
Oh,
and I'm not even talking about because
definitely.
she's a female. I'm just talking about her fucking.
I just really hate Trump.
Would she?
I don't like his
but look
goddamn
at Trump
thing
has
done.
accomplished. I will say Trump has accomplished more in his time in office than any other fucking president has accomplished in such a short amount of time in office.
I do not agree with any of that. I think he'd like to have you believe that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he would.
But that's another story.
What has he done?
I mean, it's not what he's done; it's what Kushner's fucking done. What he's done through Kushner, like with fucking.
What?
Yeah, with fucking Korea, Kushner, fucking Saudi Arabia,
See the
fucking.
news? North Korea is reneging on everything. They're like, we don't like the U.S.
Of
Fuck all
course they're
this.
gonna
You're unilateral fucking us.
Of course they were going to. It was all just a fucking publicity stunt. Like,
Well, yeah, that's the point.
I mean, my journalist instinct gave me that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The
but
whole Trump presidency is a publicity.
it is what it
stunt.
is to distract us. Like, that's why I don't give a fuck. Like, Trump's gonna do what he's gonna do. You know, think about he didn't need Cambridge Analytica. This is a conspiracy theory, so it's still fucking here. It's just not time travel. He didn't need Cambridge Analytica and then Analytica. All he needed to do was put his views out on fucking Twitter, and we would tell him everything we agreed or disagreed with. And he knew his voter basis between that. It didn't matter what Cambridge Analytica did. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I never understood that particular controversy either.
Twitter gave him. Well, I got the controversy. They were because they talked about you know they had talked with a client about one client about how they would never use sexual misconduct or whatever or anything like that, and then they have another conversation with another client saying they do the exact same thing they just said they didn't do. So I got that, but like I whatever, like you can't fucking depict me. You don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do next, you know? Like,
Well, if you can think 2 steps ahead, yeah, that's correct.
well, I mean, I try to think, and like, this is a bad
Oh, no, I was
term
talking about
because
Trump.
of Kevin
Yeah.
Spacey, but I try to think in like long term issues and shit, you know? Like, I mean, when we're bullshitting like this is just off the cuff shit, you know? But when it comes to my brand, I think of that shit highly, you know? You have to.
I don't have a
Look at your camera.
I'm fine with that.
Well, because I gotta clean up. I've been cleaning up this entire fucking room. But I've got all my pops and old shirts that I'm gonna sell stacked up in a corner over there. I don't want y'all to be like, Fitz is just fucking a pack rat. You know, fucking. I'm gonna display all my pops. I just rearranged all my shit. So,
What is that little square right above my right ear?
what square above your right ear?
Or by my right eye? Oh, just went away. There's some sort of notification or something.
Oh, you click it and it gives you points for being in the chat, man. It's just me in the Basic Instinct meme where I'm in the skirt. But
I have no idea.
I think you made that, or Vile made that one.
Yeah. No, I made that.
Yeah, I thought you made it. Fucking, cause that was the bet I lost, and I had to go to Dragon Con and wear a skirt. Luckily, I was able to return the skirt. It's not that I have anything against people that wear skirts. They were very freeing. It's not for me. It's not part of my swag.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm all for people that want to wear.
Well, you know, to stay on subject with time travel, one of the things that has been interesting me a lot is Robert Mallett's work, and I don't know, man. I've been doing a lot of thinking into what do you remember? Do you remember the Bernstein Bears or the Bernstein?
That was after
I
my
remember,
time.
honestly, flat out, I remember it with an E. I really do.
Me
But
too. I remember being corrected.
I had a friend growing up, though, who was blind, and he had audiobooks. And he swears to me, it's always been Bernstein, because that's how it was pronounced. Hey, like, he could only listen to audiobooks. Yeah.
So what? This is the Mandela effect?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I have a hypothesis on it too, with like
Well,
misinformation.
supposedly,
But
This is
the,
my
Go
this is
ahead,
my
Bobby.
input to this.
friggin'
Is that the theory
complex
is now this is
background.
this is part of the big theory that there are multiple number of universes, parallel universes.
Yeah.
Every time you make a decision, another one spawns off.
yeah, or
So you
lack
get
of
every
decision.
single combination of
Yeah.
everything. So theoretically, you can shift. There are supposed ways, maybe they're Eastern philosophies or whatever. You can shift your thinking or your mentality to another or one of those universes.
Yeah, that was
Entirely
one of the
possible.
theories I heard too, but like I can't get back to the time where it was spelled CHIK dash FILA. But see, I've come to think like that is a common misconception because of the eat more chicken signs always being like CHIK dash FIL dash A instead of like the actual
Well, yeah,
the
that
actual
was
sign.
the point of that ad campaign was that the cows weren't spelling it right.
Exactly, and I think that's why people remember it as chick with a CHIK. Like the
Yeah.
Kit Kat bar, I can't get behind. I don't remember if there was a dash or a dot. Coke, I don't really remember. Dr. Pepper, I don't remember. But I do remember my bologna has a first name. It's OSCAR. My
Yeah.
bologna has a second name. It's MEYER.
See, I remember MAYER.
That's a commercial.
Maybe it is MAY. Because Meyer is the. No, I think MA is the isn't the Mandela effect. I think that's the one everybody knows. But I remember E.
Oh, well, maybe.
I
I don't
even
know.
remember. No, maybe it is.
People get shit wrong.
Maybe it is. Maybe I've got it backwards. But because I do remember.
It's not important.
Do you remember the Oscar Mayer Wiener like truck mobile thing that would like ride from town to town?
Yeah, the Wienermobile.
Yeah.
I got an Oscar
Of course.
Mayer whistle when I went to 1964 World's Fair in Flushing, New York.
Oh really?
Yes,
Huh.
the World's Fair that had a little
Um,
Oscar Mayer whistle, and I had one of those. I was a little kid.
So it's a wiener whistle.
a Wiener whistle. Actually, that bitch
That's
is worth
actually
some
really
money.
freaking cool.
I think those
yeah.
I think those whistles are worth some money though, for real.
Probably.
Well, I don't have it anymore.
Well,
I also took apart a golf ball and unraveled the long rubber band that was in it.
I've done that before. I actually I got it from Tin Cup, but if you
I like that movie.
If you hit a baseball with a or not a baseball, a golf ball with a baseball bat, that bitch will fly. I'm talking about
Right.
fly.
Yeah.
It'll probably go half a mile.
Oh yeah, I broke a window. They don't know that I broke said window though. Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry. I was only 13.
Hashtag conspiracies.
But anyway, as far as time travel goes, which was the original topic, I should have brought something.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we're gonna work on actually coming up with the topic, right? And then we'll research and
well, this show was
bring
thrown
it-
together
it-
again because I've been off the internet for a week, and I was like, "Hey, y'all want to do a show?" And then we just did a show. So,
All right, this is just an introduction.
I
These
mean,
shows,
Yes.
but that's the good thing though,
just to get warmed up,
is you have no idea how hard it is to get somebody to actually sit down and do a fucking show. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we're just sitting here bullshitting about anything that comes to mind, that's the
You only
big thing.
people.
you
Can we
know?
do like a call-in thing? Like, is it
I wanna-
possible?
We can switch to that now. I
Like,
want to promote.
dude, Webbit. I know you're a big fan of the whole Art Bell. I am too.
Yeah.
Like, dude, a call-in show would be awesome.
Fu-
If
Well,
we could
I
do
mean,
it.
that's
A
what
what?
I don't. Oh shit! I don't want to. Well, she already released information. Jen's gonna be doing a call-in show. She didn't get to do it, but I want to do my own call-in show. Now that Jury has high thoughts, like I don't want to. That was my original plan, like high rants with Fitz. But he's already got high thoughts for emails, which I want to send one in.
Right.
I'm glad Penny sent in that one high thought of mine, like, is food racist? But, I
That's
mean,
awesome.
for real though, is it? I mean, could you go eat Chinese food? You go eat Korean. Fuck, you know? You go eat Taiwanese, Indian. Uh, what's the hybrid ones? Like,
Fusion?
like Thai
Yeah.
Mexican fusion.
Oh,
Fucking-
man.
I've never eaten
There's
one of
this
those places.
really good Thai Mexican fusion place by my house. I love it. It's great.
They're
Oh,
I've
so
never
good. I love Thai food.
I've never had one of those things. There's this place and I can't think of the name of it. It's what it is you get to pick your own. There's two places like it. There's the Mongolian buffet, and then
Oh.
there's
Like Mongolian grills. I love Mongolian barbecue.
yeah.
I just like food. Fucking whatever.
I am the same
Exactly.
way. I'm the same fucking way. I'm the same way. But there's this place where they let you, just like Mongolian buffet or grills, they let you pick your own spices and the meat you want on it, and you can fill that fucking bowl up to whatever. And it was really good. So,
Yeah, like every Mongolian barbecue I've been to has been like that. Like you pick your spices, you pick your meat, your vegetables, and they throw on like they have like a big circle grill with a big stick.
Well-
It's fucking town, and it's awesome.
but I don't know how they
Uh,
pass a health inspection. That's cross contamination like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. I'll eat it still. But it's cross contamination like a motherfucker because if you put seafood or any poultry with anything, that's cross contamination. Like,
As long as it's heated to certain degrees, it's okay.
But wait, you're cooking
no,
it all.
fuck that.
You're-
It doesn't matter. Okay, so if I.
But yeah, all right, Fitz, you're
Doesn't
a
matter.
restaurant guy, so
Yeah,
let's go.
it doesn't matter. Like, yeah. Because if I was working at the House of the Waffle, if I pulled your meat, like if I pull bacon and I put that down,
Excuse me?
that's what it's called. That's
You
what it's
pulled
called.
my meat?
Well, if you like it, don't complain about it. All right. Fucking. Anyways, if I pulled your meat, and then I dropped your hash browns before I can even touch the other side of the board, I have to change my gloves out because I just touched meat, which is a raw product. But
Yeah.
if I touch chicken, period, whatsoever, I have to change my gloves out, wash my hands, and put new gloves on because of the risk of salmonella.
Right. Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, but
But
I
if you're
think-
cooking it all at once on the grill, what
I
difference does
think
it make?
the risk goes back to the consumer when they're the one that's picking it up, not you.
yeah,
There's some loophole there.
I think
When
so.
they're picking it
I
up.
think so. I think the fact that if I pick up the chicken and put it in the bowl,
You
that
keep
is-
dropping
it's
out.
my own choice then, or whatever. Because they keep the stuff at a temperature it can be at and all that shit. But
Yeah,
like,
I've never had any bad Mongolian barbecue experience. I'm just gonna put that out
Me
there.
neither.
I haven't
Mine have all
either.
been fantastic.
I haven't either. I just like when I saw it, I was like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the shit
Yeah.
I had to go through, not even working at Waffle House like Hooters. If
Yeah.
I'd make chicken, I can't turn around without and then throw you some shrimp in there too. You know what I'm saying? That's cross contamination. I can't cook shrimp in anything that's had chicken in it, or vice versa. I can't cook chicken in a shrimp fryer. A little secret, they do it all the time, but
I also grew up in restaurants, so mine were not as heavily regulated because they were, mom and pop local things. But yeah,
Well, I was a manager, so I had to we wear the gloves and we don't. Blah,
Yeah, and
blah, blah.
and do it the way that it was supposed to be done. And then there's what
Yeah.
honestly, the
Well-
first time I threw a lime in a fryer, funniest day ever.
That was stupid as fuck. Do you know?
Yes, I know.
You threw what in a fryer?
A lime.
A
A lime? Wait, what does it do?
A whole
It's
lime.
fucking full of citrus acid, and when it fucking finally melts the rind, it explodes.
Blows
It
up.
explodes?
Like you would
Yeah,
not
it
believe-
sends
oh,
oil
God.
everywhere.
Oh, you have to put a whole lime in there.
If you could
Oh,
just see
shit.
the screen right now where I put my head in my fucking hands, I could just see you throwing. fucking
Couple of
lime.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
I
interesting.
got it. You were like, this will prove time travel, and you threw the fucking lime in the fucking fryer, and you're like, if I
Does it work with a
live,
lemon?
yeah,
That
it'll
was-
work with anything because of the acid.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And orange, anything that's fuck.
How about a watermelon?
Apple would probably work.
You can fry watermelon.
Yeah, you can fry the shit out of water.
You can fry
You
shit.
Yeah,
just
that-
have to have a
that-
fryer
yeah,
big enough.
Fucking fryer.
And I mean, to be fair, you could fucking fry a lemon if
Yeah,
you did
you
it
could.
on a low temperature and you breaded it. That's how they fry
Yeah.
ice cream. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can do that.
Yeah.
I just
But-
threw it in the
Um,
friggin' hot ass deep fryer just to see what would happen.
Oh man,
And,
how much
it-
oil
it went
exploded?
boom.
How much oil?
Oh,
exploded?
a lot. Oh, man.
Fuck! You know
It was
what?
a lot.
I wouldn't have even
Well,
fired
wouldn't that
you.
be dangerous when it explodes?
Yes, it's
I mean,
dangerous
Yes!
as fuck. Do you know
Of
them?
course.
Them fucking fryers get up to like 400 degrees.
Yeah.
It's
It
not
shot
500.
a friggin' volcano of hot oil to the ceiling.
Well, who did that?
I
He
did.
did. His
You
dumbass.
did?
That's me. I did it.
There wasn't.
I was like,
You know that was going to happen?
I didn't know what was going to happen, but I figured something like that was going to happen.
Did anyone get seriously burned?
No, we all backed away from the fryer. We weren't stupid.
Oh,
Oh,
so
okay.
y'all were like, let's.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
done
it was
stupid
a-
shit
it
like
was-
that. I've done stupid shit.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was a community effort. We're like, let's see what
Yeah.
happens if we do this. And then everybody
Oh, okay.
backed the fuck out of it.
Ran.
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
done no stupid shit like that, because then we have to fucking clean it up.
Oh, no, I still had to clean it up. It
Yeah.
took me like a week.
I bet it did, because
Clean
grease
it
is a
up.
bitch to get out.
Oh, yeah, especially the higher up you go, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look, if
Yeah.
I would have been your manager, I'd have just walked by and shook my fucking head. I wouldn't have fired you, but I would have fucking shook my head and walked by and been like, "You're not doing shit today, but cleaning that up." You should fucking. I don't care.
okay. It was kind of a protest because I was tired of cleaning out fryers. And cleaning out fryers is the hardest fucking nastiest
suck,
job in
my
the world.
dick. It's not that hard. You just drain the
I
fucking.
hate it. It sucks.
It just sucks draining the oil.
Sucks.
It sucks draining the oil, and then you just take that scraper thing and shove it all into the fucking circle, and it's done. Wipe them
Yeah.
out. You're good.
Sure.
I don't know. I used to have to work at Hooters, so we
You
had
don't have to get a bunch of exploded lines out of there.
yeah. No, we didn't do that shit because we would have got fired instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly.
I was not a good kid.
I mean, I wasn't either. That's why it's a good thing we're friends now, because we'd be dead in another timeline.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, if me and you were hanging out when we were kids, we'd be in deep shit.
Well, Wabby, I want to ask you this, not because you're old, but because you're old.
Because what? Because you cut out.
Because you're, not because you're old, but because you're old.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but you're a beautiful old man.
We love you.
What?
Well, when you put it that way,
You've
fuck
seen-
you.
Well, you've seen the change of like at least 2 industrial revolutions, man. Like,
No, I've not been around since the 1600s.
I'm just talking
contrary to
shit, but you
popular
have
belief.
seen the digital revolution start from beginning.
Well, yes, I did.
to
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah,
and to see that, how is that for you? Like, to see that we're going into
For me,
artificial
it's like-
intelligence, we're going to because I know I'm not gonna dox you, but I know you used to work on fucking machines in grocery stores, to run a program for that so they worked right. So, you know what I'm saying? To go from
Well-
that to now, what's it like?
Well, when I was a little kid, I mean, there was hardly any electronics. I mean,
You
at
have
all.
4 channels.
Oh, TV? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, UHF
Grew up
wasn't
with
even around
freaking
yet.
dial TV.
And
Yeah.
So
when JFK got shot, that he was on all of them. Yeah.
He was what?
I just made a stupid joke. I said when JFK got shot, he was on all channels.
Well, yeah, sure. Well, I don't know why you keep cutting out. Your audio keeps cutting out.
I don't
know why.
know.
I'd like the government. Hashtag
Yeah,
conspiracy.
it's probably the government. But as far, I mean, I grew up when the Apple II came out and the PC, and I worked in computers before that. With mini computers and IBM mainframes and crap like that. So yeah, no, I've seen the progression. It's I think the internet developed. I mean, it was around in the 60s. I didn't really know anything about it then. It was only in, college campuses and military.
DARPANet and all that.
Yeah. So I didn't really know. But as the internet blossomed, I mean, it's amazing to see worldwide. See, when I was a little kid, they first launched the first satellites, like the, I don't know, there was a whole bunch of them, Telstar, and, so it was the beginning of satellite communications. And that was amazing, because before that, for instance, like, like the royal wedding in 52 or whatever, they couldn't broadcast it live. They had to, like take the tapes or whatever, wedding ship them to or whatever. They had to fly them to New York to broadcast from there.
What are you talking about, like King
Day.
George and
Or when Queen Elizabeth got crowned,
yeah.
crowned.
Or if you're even
You don't
early,
realize it.
very early Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, like the 1964 Olympics was being held in Tokyo, Japan. And, they had signs. It was the first time they were going to broadcast it live. Of course, you had to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Everything was live. So you had to, get, my father really liked that, and I stayed up with him to watch it. The live stuff from Japan,
Yeah.
What you
And so we
laughing
take
at, Jackie?
it for granted now, but it's like the beginning of worldwide communications instantaneously.
Well,
So
I mean,
and
that
it's
is
made-
cool. That
it's
is
changed
cool.
society. It's changed society drastically.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the time you don't realize what's going to happen in 10, 20, 30 years. You just you awe at the wonder of it, and you say, wow. And so when new inventions get created, I mean, now it's sort of accelerated more. Things were slower back then.
Well,
Not just because of the communications, but just everything was slower. Things are faster. Things move faster right now
Yeah.
than they did back then.
Well, I didn't even know. See, I thought internet was done with these huge, humongous, fucking data servers and all that shit. That I don't know what the fuck I thought. I didn't know that the internet was cables in the fucking ocean run between.
Well, it started with the phones. The phone
Yeah.
systems. I mean, they're using that infrastructure for data communication. So, actually, before a lot of stuff was digital, even before the computer, or maybe it came about at the same time. A lot of those phone lines became digital
Yeah.
for their high volume traffic. I don't know. I don't know when that happened for AT&T. And when AT&T was broken up, when was that? The late 70s or something?
70s or early 80s. I think.
Yeah,
I
they
want to say
broke
it
up.
was
I mean, you have to understand, AT&T was the phone. It was just the phone company. Bell Systems, Bell Labs. Bell. It was just Bell.
Jackie
You
says
know.
telegraph.
Telegraph. Yeah, no, well, that's different. But I mean, the phone system was
Pony
a
Express.
monopoly. If you wanted to hook up equipment, you had to do it through the phone company. You couldn't futz around with it yourself. You weren't supposed to. You had to buy their equipment. There was no other place to get it.
Rented phones. I mean, for a time period there, like the phone was considered a rental.
Correct. It was their equipment. So you couldn't buy it.
What do you mean,
Yeah,
like
we're
a
just
house
using
phone?
their
Or you mean
stuff.
like a cell phone?
No.
No, wait,
Way before the cell phone. There was no cell phone.
A house
At
phone was
all.
considered their equipment?
Yes.
See, they
Wow.
had
I
these
didn't know that.
clunker.
I didn't know that.
There were mobile. There was a way you could make a phone for rich people. You could make phone calls from your car, but it used
Yeah.
radio, just proprietary radio frequencies to transmit, and they had a base station that would pick it up and put it out through the regular phone system.
I've ridden in a limousine,
But,
don't worry.
Yeah, but not with these systems. Cell phones
Yeah,
now.
nah. Well,
And to be honest, a lot of that technology, the cell phone technology, was invented by hams.
well, let's see.
And I saw the system. I mean, I heard about the system before it came out, and I said, "Really? This doesn't seem very practical. Having like transmitters that would only cover like a half a mile or something, and you'd have a whole bunch of them all over to cover, and we would hand off from one to the other. It just seemed very inefficient to me. But as it turns out, it's a practical way to do it.
Yeah.
Turns out, yeah, it worked out pretty good.
Amateur radio hams created a lot of this technology that they like the old days was the teletype, and there was a way fax machines and stuff like that was created by radio amateurs because they were tinkering around. They were experimenting with real stuff.
Yeah.
And some were scientists, and a lot of them were scientists and stuff. So.
Well, I mean, if you ever want to look into the phone freakers, oh man,
yes, I was sort of I used to get their,
cool.
I used to get their newsletter, the Youth International Party Line. This is the late '60s. I wish I might somewhere have one of those newsletters around because I think
it's so cool.
So they had black box. I tinkered around with it a little bit, but I had to be careful because the phone company could detect it. For instance, I created a black box. So at the time, you had you only had phones in your houses basically. They were all connected, wired up. And if long distance, I mean, even for me in Brooklyn to call Manhattan, it wasn't an extra charge. They had they broke up the city into message units. So East half and West half of Brooklyn were two different zones. And then Manhattan was another zone, Staten Island, so on. And you could call anywhere in the city, but it would cost you message units, and you only had a certain number of message units per month on your bill. After that, they would charge you extra. So even to call Brooklyn it didn't matter. It was no message units. So and then if you called outside of the area, if I called New Jersey, it was long distance. Yeah. And you paid for the call by the minute.
Did you see Jackie in the chat? She's going to make a sock puppet video of you giving a PowerPoint presentation on this.
Oh, God. I can imagine.
It'll be a slideshow with old-time photo slides. Well,
this doesn't have to do with time travel.
Let's see. When were you? I would have been 8 the first time I ever went to New York. That was 21 years ago. Or 23 years ago.
So it's before the World Trade Center came down.
Oh yeah, I've been in the World Trade Center before it came down. I went to the top of it.
Well, I saw it being built because my family's house was overlooking. It was in Brooklyn, but you could see into Lower Manhattan, and you could see the thing going up. in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I did go up to the top of the. They have a restaurant at the top.
Yeah,
Top
yeah,
of
I've
the
eaten
world.
at it.
It was
Yeah.
called.
I don't
But you
know
had
what it's
a
called.
big, gigantic window that went all the way around.
It was
It was
scary as
amazing
fuck,
view.
though.
Wasn't it?
It was
Yeah,
scary
yeah.
as fuck. Like for me as a
Yeah.
kid, it was
Yeah.
scary as fuck. Well,
Well, it
see,
was much better than the Empire State Building, where you actually. Well,
I don't know. I
there you
felt
didn't have the
safe.
glass.
I felt safe on the Empire State Building because at least like
But
it
there
had
you were
the
outside.
rails. It had the rails and shit. Yeah,
But you were
someone,
outside.
someone would have to throw you over the rail. You know.
Yeah.
Fucking, which I was a little
Yeah.
shit of a kid, so somebody might have done that. But I always wanted to because of the theory of like if you threw a penny off of the Empire State Building, it would kill
Yeah,
somebody.
you probably would kill someone. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Mythbusters did that one.
I did spit off the Empire State Building. I'm not gonna lie.
You did. Did you kill anybody?
No, I didn't. But man,
You
I'm
sure?
a little kid. You put me on the tallest building in the world. Of course, I'm
I
gonna
would have
spit
done the
off
same
of it.
thing. Yeah, I would have done the same.
No, because actually the whole way down I was scared somebody died, but no one was dead on the street, so I dodged the bullet, and they dodged the spit bullet. So I mean, but
Mythbusters actually did that one though with the penny.
oh yeah, did it kill anybody?
No, but it'll hurt.
I imagine it
didn't?
would hurt.
Yeah, it'll hurt. It'll leave you bruised, but it's not going to kill you.
You moving to Manhattan in
Oh.
August?
I mean, it reaches
Ah.
terminal velocity. What is it, like 60 miles an hour or something?
Terminal velocity for I just actually ended up doing the math in this. 92 miles an hour, I think, for a 9mm bullet is terminal velocity.
I guess it depends on the wind
It's
resistance,
just
the
that
shape
man
of
dies
it.
from Lucky
But a
shot.
bullet's pretty aerodynamic.
Yeah.
I need to move
So a
this
penny wouldn't go as fast, right?
other monitor over
No,
here.
not even close.
It would probably be less. I mean, it would be around 60 miles an hour.
Because I know.
Yeah, it was enough to put a bruise on, I believe, Adam's hand. That was it.
Well, Jet Li.
It's very light, so it'd probably bounce off. It wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, Jet
Yeah, it
Li's
was
one
about-
fucking inch punch is supposed to be like getting hit by a fucking 55-mile-per-hour car. So, I mean, I imagine.
You know, I'll take getting hit by that penny over getting hit by.
Yo, yeah, yeah. I want to see that new movie. It's on Netflix. That's off subject. No, man, I love New
Technically, we
York.
talk about his off subject.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should just call this show off topic and then do a conspiracy show too. Like, fucking. But I mean, we've talked
I will
conspiracy.
figure out a vibe for it, man.
Well, see, it got thrown together because I was off the internet. We didn't really plan. We were just like, we're gonna talk time travel, and then we're so
Off the internet.
we're so good friends that like we just bullshit about other things at the same
We can
time.
build off this, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, it's a good show. I think it's a good show.
I'd like to get into the phone freaking stuff. Like, Wabbit, I know
Well,
you probably got
What
stuff
are
to talk
you
about.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, so let me explain one thing. The black box. So I hooked up this thing. It was actually pretty simple little circuit, very simple. It was just a matter of putting it across the right lines on the phone. So what it was supposed to do is, you call, or is this a blue box? I forget which one. There was a black box.
Yeah, it
blue
was a black
red
box, blue box, and a red box.
The red box would actually produce touch tones. What you would do is you would get on with the long distance operator, because that was free to call the long distance operator, and you ask her, I don't know, something, and then you wait till they cut off, but you stay on the line. You're still using that line,
Yeah.
and you punch in certain. They had, besides the regular touch tones, they had a few other special keys. Besides the star and the pound, I think there were some other ones too. And you could actually stay in the line and make a long distance call. They were already using touch tones in the mid '60s, I think,
Yeah.
for those long distance.
I put a
lines.
link in the Discord for it.
Yeah,
For-
and they used so they could make long distance calls for free. It's as if you were calling the operator, but you were really using it to call anywhere around the world for free.
Fuck.
And it was like sport, and it was like hacking, but for phones. It was so cool.
You just reminded me I have to fucking figure out the fucking Discord website so I can promote it. Fuck.
Okay. And here's another thing. What my friend used to do is he would used to go to somebody's house. Somebody would go outside and call from a payphone. Call him. He'd hook up a tape recorder to the phone line, and add. When you put coins in the phone booth, it would signal the operator with certain tones. Each coin had a different tone. It's normally muted at your end in the phone booth, but the operator can hear it if they're on the line, or the person you're calling still can hear it. And so if they record it on their end, they have a nickel, dime, and a quarter in tones. And then you could go to the phone booth, pick up the phone, play the tape recorder into the phone, and you have your money.
Yep.
We're just in a Discord chat, Jackie. Like I said, if you want to join, you're more than welcome to join.
I don't know. It was
We're
like
talking in
such a huge inspiration for me in my life. I loved everything about the film.
Look, well,
If do you want to let Jackie in if she wants to contribute, we
if
can
she
invite
wants
her
to
in.
contribute, yeah, I don't care. Like this show is for everybody, and like my other show is like for creators. I'm not saying y'all aren't creators, but make some shit and we'll talk about it.
Oh, hey, thank you.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie,
Hey.
welcome to the show.
Hey, Jackie.
We're just it was supposed to be about time travel. We talked a little bit about it, but we're just
Time
bullshitting.
travel. You keep cutting out. I think you have to turn. I'm not sure if it's going out over the stream that way, but I think you have to adjust the. You have to go to the preferences and adjust the
Pretty
sensitivity.
smooth on the stream, his end.
Yeah, I checked on the stream.
It's
it sounded
only
fine.
it's only here. I think it's the Discord preference.
Oh yeah, the stream sounded fine to me.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll actually work on it this week. I just was off the internet for a week, and we were like, "Hey, you want to do a show?" And like, "Hell yeah, we're gonna do a show." And then here we are. So how you doing,
That
Jackie?
sounds awesome. Yeah.
So you're moving to Manhattan. I saw that. And
Yeah.
Oh, you moving, man?
Are you serious or is it a joke?
No, it's not a joke. It's
That's
real.
cool.
You got a job there?
Yes and no. Well, yes. There are jobs I would have done, but I could have never afford to live there. But my brother and his wife and my niece just moved there, and so they asked if I could be around to help out, for the first couple of months. So I'm just going to go out there, and then call all of those possible clients I could have had before, and try to start up in the Northeast, maybe.
Oh, what part of Manhattan?
Upper West.
Oh, Upper West Side. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah, not next door to Jefferson's. No.
How well do you know the subway system?
I not in New York at all, but I mean I've been in many cities. Like I definitely have DC and Boston and other places down.
Subway is not that bad.
Oh no, I used to ride it every day, but this was a long time ago. I haven't been back there in many years.
I'm lazy as fuck. I always wanted to take a cab, just because.
Yeah. I'm hoping I'll walk a lot. I'm excited, but I haven't spent much time there at all.
Oh, okay.
Definitely been to, like I said, Boston for quite a lot, and some, and DC, and I think that's pretty. Well, I mean, I worked in Connecticut and New Hampshire, but for like a couple of weeks. But but other than that, yeah. So I'm kind of it's kind of exciting, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, it's always cool.
Different.
I mean, you'll be up there with Curtis. I'm not gonna dox him, but you'll be up there with a few other people.
Oh yeah. That's true too. Like, I'm looking forward to reaching out to Diamond Club people up there.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah. Who's in New York from
I'm-
Diamond Club?
I know
Well,
Curtis will rock. I think he's pretty. I don't think that calling him out.
There's
I know
other
he's
people.
around.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Yeah.
He's pretty open about it. But I
Yeah.
still like. I don't want him to be like, I heard you fucking said where I was on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because naming a city is so doxing.
It could be.
And actually, just saying New York in general is just kind of massive. Like, you know.
Yeah, it is though. It really is. I
Even if
love
you
New
said
York.
Milwaukee, Oregon, I mean, it's
This is New
it's
York
small,
talk.
but try and find me, okay?
Well, you guys talk conspiracies, man. I don't mean to talk about me and my
No, I
personal.
mean we're pretty much done with the show, man.
Oh.
We've been streaming for 2 hours now, so
Yeah, I
Freaking
caught it in a
bullshit.
while. and I had
yeah.
to
Thanks
just-
for stopping in and coming and hanging out.
This is awesome.
Tomorrow we probably I want to do the call-in show. I would have done it today, but I was a meth head. I wasn't really on meth, but you know how like you get into like that geek project. I was making a green screen all day. I had to sew it together, and it's gonna be cool when it's done.
But everything you're wearing is green. You have green headphones, you got a green shirt,
Yeah, I like green. It's
green
my favorite.
cap.
It's my favorite. No, my cap is black.
I remember the green
Black?
screen that I bought on Amazon wasn't very expensive, and it's massive.
All I did was get a bunch of material and I sewed it together like a curtain, and I'm gonna
Oh, okay.
hang it.
And
up.
it does work for you, like it does, like
I don't.
your
We'll find out. Like,
capture program. Okay, because I've had the hardest time. I
We
tried
have
to-
not got that far.
it's
Yeah.
this. Oh,
Depends on your capture
It
program.
seems to be a
It's-
dark olive
it's
green
that
now.
color green, but I've seen PewDiePie use that color green.
And you can use blue, like a blue, a royal blue, or actually you can use any color depending on what, like.
Yeah, as long as it's a solid color, it should work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But-
my
but yeah.
house isn't a wreck. I'm cleaning it up. So just so you know, Fitz is a fucking pack rat. Look at all that shit. That's all clean clothes that gotta fucking get put up or given away to the fucking Salvation Army. And that's my sleeping wife.
Oh no, poor thing.
Oh, she don't care. She'll
Oh,
sleep.
she was there sleeping all the time.
And there's my. Oh yeah, she sleeps through everything, man. Like she don't. And that was my pit bull.
Damn, that must be
It's
nice.
adorable.
And she just cussed me out. She said, "If you don't get that fucking camera off of me." I'm trying to fix it. It's just a weird placement of it. I haven't really fucked with it. And that's all my pops in a Coke can. But hopefully I have everything set up. I've got my bookcase here. I don't know how a green screen works though. I know you gotta have certain lighting for it. But I was just like,
Yes.
I can get some green shit. And I might could buy some lights.
And you know, I was Spearmint Nitrate and I were going to work on a series of animated sock puppet videos, but I could never get my fucking green screen to work. I mean,
that would have
this-
been great.
It went
That
on
would've
for
been
like
great.
a year, and he was like, anytime.
I would have loved that. Yeah.
Yep. And I just couldn't fucking get the light work right. But it was the program I was using, so it's going to be different for you because I think if you're doing it for streaming, like those programs usually pick up the chroma key really well. But like the animation software I was using, like it just couldn't get to it.
Really, I just want it for like how Curly has it, how he can phase himself out. Like just his camera, just be him, and then he's like sitting in the game, basically.
Yeah,
And
that
to
should
do,
be.
and to do other little things with it, you know. So,
Hmm.
and if not, whatever. I learned to do a loop back, so whatever.
Hey, Jackie, I have a question. Do you think my whiskers need a little trimming?
I need an all-around shave. Look how long my hair is. I'm gonna cut it, but look.
in this new climate of gender appreciation, I don't think you should be asking publicly on a stream whether or not your whiskers are too long.
My hair is fucking long as fuck.
Nobody responded to what I said.
I know.
Oh, I didn't hear what
Can
you
you
said.
hear me? Oh, it's
I have
I
my
I
head-
didn't know how to respond.
I have my headphones off.
Oh.
so
I
you
didn't know
guys,
how to respond.
anybody watch
Yeah.
Cars Getting Coffee?
With you.
Anybody watch
What, there's new episodes?
Yeah, came out Friday.
Oh,
New season.
no.
Of what?
Wait,
You mean they just plopped a whole bunch of them out there?
Yeah, a new season came out on Friday.
Of
On
the
what?
new season of
Right.
what?
Yeah, Netflix. What's up?
Of what?
New season of what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Comedians and Cars Getting Coffee.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, there's one in particular. I think it's been spoiled, but there's an Alec Baldwin one. I don't know if you heard about that. That he said something about his wife, and like people were jumping on him
What do you
because
call
he was
her?
making.
A bitch?
He's making. What, oh, no, okay, no.
Was
he-
it-
I'm just gonna say it quickly. It doesn't matter. It's not spoiling the thing. I'm just gonna say it because it's already on the media. But he apparently said, or I actually saw it. So he did say that he touched his wife the other day. He touched her back, and then he thought, oh God, is that okay? Am I in trouble now?
Well, I honestly, I will say, like,
He was just on Howard Stern. He had a
Because-
nice interview with him talking about
and
it.
it's
I don't
not
know.
even because the hashtag Me Too thing. Like, I think about instances like, because when you're married,
You got to be able to joke about it. Jesus Christ.
well, but when
Yeah.
you're married, shit like that happens. Like you touch, like me and my wife used to have problems, like when she was on drugs. And,
Well, that's
and I was on drugs. Like fucking, she just didn't want me to touch her, and it wasn't
Yeah.
because she didn't want me.
sometimes, yeah.
It was just the drugs, and then you think about like, well, I'm the type of person like, well, fuck you, I don't want to have sex, and then it would end up sleeping with me later, and it's like, is that
You
rape?
get too much detail, personal detail.
Is that rape or coercion? Whatever. This is me, man. Why am I gonna fucking
Hashtag Fitzcast.
What am I gonna pretend to be something I'm not? That's the problem with people these days, man. Is they put on this show for everybody on here, like, oh my god, I'm so great. Look at me. Oh, look, I got green headphones. We're gonna have a green screen. It's gonna be wonderful. Thank you for subscribing. I don't give a fuck. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. But I'm gonna be my fucking self.
True.
I'm not racist. I'm not hateful. I'm a dick. But that's
You're
what
Fitz.
it is. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of time travel, which we
I'm
weren't,
bigger dick, don't worry.
the final season of 12
Oh, well, we
Monkeys
can-
on
Oh,
Oh, that's
the
where
final season of 12
that's where the
Monkeys on
joke was going.
Sci-Fi.
Jeez.
It's the
Okay.
last one. They did like 3 weeks of 3 episodes or something like that. I think the last one was yesterday. So I have them all. I haven't watched them yet. But
Is it
I don't know if anybody, well, I don't know. It's uneven. Maybe
I
is a good
didn't
word.
get to watch this season or the show. I watched the movie, and I like the movie with Brad Pitt. And
Right. So
Yeah.
the show is comes from the movie, but it's a little different.
Yeah, but like
It's a TV
the
show.
movie solved
I tried
it
to
all
get
for
Tom
me.
Merritt to watch it, but he didn't like it. So
Yeah, it's hard to get Tom.
Well, you know what,
Yeah.
like all the shit Tom Merritt used to talk about the Badlands, and him and Schwood would talk about Badlands. I tuned all that shit out. Like I never paid attention because I didn't give a fuck. I didn't watch it, and I'm glad I tuned it all out because I went back and I watched it, and I actually love it just because of the kung fu and all that shit.
Really?
Yeah, I do like it.
I started watching because my friend DJM wanted desperately to do a podcast on Badlands and has been trying to find someone who watches it. And so, like, I got him to watch something, so I said, okay, I'll watch Badlands. And I got through the first season, and then I was on episode 1 of season 2, and I just, like, I couldn't commit at that time because
What?
it was just one of those times. it's one of those times where everything came out that day. Like, Walking Dead started up that day, and
Yeah.
something else started that
Well,
day.
yeah, because Walking Dead did start, not season 2, but like season 3, they were releasing them around the same time.
So you're saying you like Badlands?
Oh yeah, I love Badlands. Season 2, like,
I didn't
but
watch
I don't
it.
understand. Like, season 2 is like when you're like, oh shit, I gotta know what happens. The Baron's going crazy. Fucking Sonny's doing whatever. I'm not gonna spoil it for people, but and then like it's just good.
I'll spoil it for people because I'm from the future.
Yeah, that's right. We're
All
talking
back.
about.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think I definitely I tried to watch it when it first came out, and I couldn't continue with it. But like when I tried to binge it, and I binged it in the first season in one day. Like I liked it a lot better. Like I feel like that's the same thing with a lot of shows that if I binge it, I like it better.
Well, yeah. See, and that's what I did too. I binged it. I still haven't watched season 3 because it came out on when we were watching.
Fitz, do me a favor, please. Go into Discord preferences.
I already did. I don't know why
What?
I'm cutting out. I really
Do
don't.
you have automatically determined input sensitivity on?
Yeah, I always have automatic sensitivity on.
It hasn't.
You have the input volume turned up? Maybe you need to turn that up a little bit more.
Yeah, hold on. Let me change this
Yeah.
to.
Because I don't know why you cut out.
Let
You
me
shouldn't be
change-
cutting out.
I mean, I've been listening to myself. I'm fine on stream. I'm just cutting out in Discord.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Discord, but it's very
We've
annoying.
had both.
It's very annoying. So I want to fix it.
I'm changing.
Now,
I'm changing
going
the show
to-
title. BS.
doing
To what?
the what?
Hey, Max, stop it.
You're doing it on purpose, though.
Yes, I know. I'm a dick.
Yeah, Max is doing it on purpose. I don't know. I'll go look into it. I'll look into it now.
Hey, so in the meantime, I have a story. When I saw I actually thought about you guys in this Discord that usually hang out, and I thought, oh, a story I could bring up. But hey, so what do you guys feel about the story of a pride of lions that killed a bunch of poachers that were trying
I
to poach
fucking love it.
Lion,
Really? Is that really true?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the story's a bunch, and I can't find. I'm gonna try to find.
It's been on my
the
Twitter
actual
feed all day.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah.
love it.
They were
I
poaching,
hope it's true, and I hope it happens again.
they were rhino poachers, and they were out, and I guess they got a pride of lions came across them, and they're no more. They were poached by the lions.
Poor poachers. They're so poor.
I kind of want. I get it's so it's such a weird feeling to feel kind of happy, right? I mean, because they're people.
Well, you can't. To be honest, you really can't be happy for people dying, can you?
I mean,
Well,
and, you know,
people who were poaching rhinos.
I'm not saying they didn't deserve punishment, but I mean, killing them.
Well,
I
it
mean,
stopped them from poaching some rhinos that day.
Well, that's true. That's true.
all I have to
That's-
say
that's
is
all-
if you're killing
that's
a
a tiger,
start.
And I mean,
It's organic. It's organic.
yeah, and it's not like they were arrested and put in prison and then went through the justice system and then we paid a bunch of money or taxpayers paid a bunch of money and then finally they were brought out and executed by lethal injection and some big horrible corporation that made money off of the injection stuff gave them bad injection whatever. I mean, it's just it's the proper way for justice, Don't you think? I mean, I guess the Lions were
Put a link from the Independent into the General. If you,
Because it's
you
not
know.
like the Pride of Lions sat around like held court and they're like, okay, guys, down the stream here we can smell them. We've got a group of humans and they're gonna get our buddies the rhinos. So should we take them out or should we have a vote?
Looks like those things that are made of food are going after the right.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with it.
Lion
'Cause, I mean-
King 5.
Even if like your job is, quote, imagine an alternate universe where your job is, quote, lion exterminator or rhino exterminator. That's just the cost of doing business. Lion exterminator or chance they're gonna fight back.
Yeah.
If they kill you, occupational hazard. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Well, who was it? It was a comedian that said, who the fuck was it? I watched it recently. They were, Bill Burr. He was like, he's like, when Steve Corwin died, he's like, that's the only reason why I watched the show, because I knew one day he was gonna fucking die, like.
Oh yeah.
Which is sad.
And then
like,
he got took out by a friggin' stingray.
yeah, not even a crocodile.
Yeah, not even close.
Look at all
That was
shit.
just a freak accident. But you know what? It's the cost of doing business. And Steve Irwin is like, we don't want to put him in the same conversation with poachers, though, because he was all about conservation and education.
Yeah, I agree with
He
that.
he was a really good guy. But yeah, he fucked around with a lot of shit.
Yeah. No, I felt horrible when he died. I was.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm indifferent towards death, so I don't really care. Like, and I mean, I don't mean to come off a callous or a dick. I just, like, there hasn't even been, like, a movie star or anybody that died recently that I was like, oh my god. I was like, that sucks. I'm sorry for them and their family, but, like,
Anthony Bourdain's suicide,
Yeah.
definitely kind of fucked me up for a good several days or week or so.
I've got
Yeah, I did
conspiracy
not
theories
see that
on-
one coming.
I've got conspiracy theories on him. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've been following them.
Was it that his girlfriend was into witchcraft?
Well,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
proven that she's into witchcraft.
Shinto.
Still, it's proven that witchcraft can kill anybody. But whatever.
Yeah.
Now, with Anthony Bourdain, I think he was on, as a journalist, man, I can't describe it. You get this fucking buzz when you know there's a story. And I think he was just on the verge of cracking something big. And they really killed him because of that. Like, because, I mean, why would he hang himself? He's at the top of his career.
Well,
And he even
He-
mentioned having his daughter to live for. Now, I guess we say shit for interviews and shit, but still, like, I don't know, man.
yeah.
I don't know. And then what's her name? Kate, whatchamacallit, hung herself with the damn
Kate Spade
Kate Spade hung herself with a scarf.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
on a doorknob.
I think David Spade actually had her killed.
Jackie, I love you.
I mean, this is a
I don't
conspiracy show,
I
right?
don't- well, yeah, I don't have a conspiracy for that, but like, yeah,
I mean, if there isn't one, we gotta make it up.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what most conspiracy